The samurai never believed emotional control meant feeling nothing. That is the first illusion modern men must destroy. A warrior who feels nothing is already dead. A warrior who is ruled by everything he feels is already defeated. The greatest samurai understood a truth so dangerous that even today most men spend their entire lives running from it. Your greatest enemy is rarely standing in front of you. He is speaking inside your own mind. Every insult, every setback, every rejection, every disappointment, every betrayal, each one offers the same silent invitation. Lose control. React, abandon discipline, forget who you are. The samurai knew that the battle inside the mind always begins long before the battle outside. That same lesson echoed thousands of miles away in another great civilization. The Romans called it self-command. The Stoics called it mastery over judgment. The samurai simply lived it. And perhaps that is why history remembers them not merely as warriors, but as men who carried impossible burdens without allowing those burdens to shape their character. Imagine standing in feudal Japan. The morning mist clings to the mountains. Cherry blossoms drift quietly through the cold air. Somewhere in the distance, steel strikes steel as warriors complete their daily training. A young samurai kneels before his master. His sword is polished. His armor is prepared. His body is ready for battle. Yet the master ignores the sword completely. Instead, he asks a single question. If a man insults you today, who controls your life? The student answers immediately, I do. The old master slowly shakes his head. No. Silence fills the room. If anger controls your actions, your enemy controls your life. That lesson was never about combat. It was about freedom. Modern society teaches people that emotions deserve immediate expression. The samurai believed emotions deserved observation before expression. There is an enormous difference. Most people confuse honesty with impulsiveness. I was angry, so I yelled. I was hurt, so I quit. I felt disrespected, so I sought revenge. The samurai would have asked a different question. Did your emotion deserve authority or merely acknowledgement? Because emotions are visitors. Character is the owner of the house. Marcus Aurelius reached the same conclusion while ruling the Roman Empire. He reminded himself every morning that difficult people would appear. Not because life was unfair, because life was real. Preparation protected him from surprise. Surprise often destroys emotional control. When reality matches expectation, the mind remains calm. When reality violates fantasy, the mind begins to panic. This explains why modern comfort has quietly weakened so many men. We expect convenience. We expect appreciation. We expect fairness. We expect constant progress. Then reality refuses to cooperate. The samurai expected obstacles. Roman generals expected betrayal. Stoic philosophers expected suffering. Their expectations became psychological armor. Most modern men leave home emotionally naked. One rude comment ruins the day. One failed opportunity destroys confidence. One criticism creates self-doubt. The samurai understood something extraordinary. Pain is inevitable. Reaction is optional. That idea sounds simple until life begins testing it. Imagine two warriors. Both lose everything. Both watch their plans collapse. Both experience grief. Both know fear. One allows emotion to dictate behavior. The other allows principles to dictate behavior. Months later, their lives look completely different. Not because life treated them differently, because they interpreted life differently. Epictetus taught that events themselves never imprison us. Our judgments about them do. The samurai practiced this truth every single day. During training, they repeated difficult movements thousands of times. Not because repetition created perfect technique, because repetition created emotional stability. Discipline under ordinary circumstances becomes composure during extraordinary ones. This is why Roman military training appears almost identical in philosophy. Roman soldiers drilled endlessly, march after march, shield after shield, formation after formation. The battlefield would always be unpredictable. Their response would not. Confidence does not come from believing life will be easy. Confidence comes from knowing you can endure difficulty. That distinction changes everything. Today, many men chase motivation. Accept reality. Fulfill your duty. Thousands of years separate these men. Different cultures, different languages, different worlds, yet they reached almost identical conclusions. The strongest man is not the loudest. The strongest man is the one who governs himself. This idea terrifies modern culture because it removes every excuse. If another person's behavior determines your peace, you have surrendered your freedom. If social media controls your confidence, you have surrendered your freedom. If criticism controls your purpose, you have surrendered your freedom. The samurai protected freedom differently. They protected attention. Attention determines emotion. Emotion influences action. Action shapes identity. Identity creates destiny. Most people try changing destiny while ignoring attention. The samurai started at the beginning. Watch the mind. Notice anger before it speaks. Notice fear before it acts. Notice pride before it blinds. Notice ego before it destroys. This is where emotional control begins, not after the explosion, before the spark. Roman generals understood this principle during battle. An army mirrors its leader. If the commander panics, panic spreads faster than arrows. If the commander remains composed, courage becomes contagious. Leadership is emotional multiplication. Every reaction echoes through those who follow you. That is why the samurai believed mastery over self always comes before mastery over others. A father who cannot govern himself struggles to guide his children. An entrepreneur who cannot regulate fear struggles to lead a company. A husband ruled by anger eventually loses respect. A leader ruled by ego eventually loses followers. The battlefield changes. The principle never does. Modern warfare often happens inside offices, businesses, homes, relationships. The weapons are different. The psychology remains identical. Everyday life presents invisible duels. Someone questions your value. Someone rejects your effort. Someone ignores your sacrifice. Someone underestimates your ability. The question remains unchanged. Who controls your response? Every moment becomes another opportunity to practice the samurai rule. Pause, observe, choose. The gap between stimulus and response is where strength lives. Weak men eliminate the gap. Strong men expand it. Inside that pause lives wisdom, justice, discipline, honor, character. This is why the samurai treated silence as a weapon. Silence allows perception. Perception prevents regret. Regret often begins with words spoken too quickly. Modern culture rewards immediate reaction. Ancient warriors rewarded deliberate action. Which system creates stronger men? History has already answered. Empires rise and fall. Technologies evolve. Weapons change. Human psychology barely changes at all. Fear still whispers. Anger still seduces. Pride still deceives. Discipline still wins. The Roman philosopher Seneca warned that anger is temporary madness. The samurai understood the same truth without needing the same words. An uncontrolled emotion can destroy years of preparation within seconds. One reckless decision, one careless sentence, one emotional impulse, entire futures disappear. Meanwhile, disciplined men quietly continue building, day after day, decision after decision, character after character. People often imagine emotional control makes life colorless. The opposite is true. When emotions no longer dominate you, they begin serving you. Courage becomes available exactly when needed. Compassion appears without weakness. Confidence develops without arrogance. Strength exists without cruelty. This balance created the legendary warrior. Not aggression, balance. The samurai could fight because they first learned restraint. Roman generals could command because they first learned obedience to virtue. Marcus Aurelius could govern millions because he first struggled to govern himself. Self-mastery always precedes influence. There is another lesson hidden beneath all of this: mortality. The samurai lived with death as a daily companion, not an obsession, a reminder. Every sunrise carried uncertainty. Every mission carried risk. Every duel carried consequence. Instead of becoming fearful, they became intentional. When time becomes precious, emotional drama becomes expensive. Petty arguments lose importance. Needless resentment loses value. Vanity loses influence. Purpose becomes clearer. The Stoics called it memento mori. Remember, you must die. The samurai carried the same awareness through different traditions. Death was never merely the end of life. It was the measure of life. If today were your final day, would this argument deserve your energy? Would this insult deserve your peace? Would this distraction deserve your future? Suddenly the answer becomes obvious. The samurai rule was never suppression, it was selection. Choosing carefully where emotional energy belongs. Most men waste enormous amounts of attention on people who have never earned it. Every complaint, every online argument, every comparison, every insecurity, every imagined criticism. Attention leaks away. Life leaks away with it. The disciplined warrior guards attention like a fortress, because whatever receives attention eventually receives power. Feed resentment and it grows. Feed courage and it grows. Feed discipline and it grows. Feed excuses and they multiply. The mind becomes whatever it repeatedly consumes. That truth remains unchanged, whether you live in ancient Rome, feudal Japan, or the modern world. Perhaps that is why history continues returning to these civilizations whenever people seek wisdom. They understood something timeless. Freedom is internal before it becomes external. No emperor can grant it. No government can guarantee it. No amount of money can purchase it. Only discipline can create it. Only self-command can protect it. Only character can sustain it. Imagine once more the samurai kneeling before his master. Years have passed. His sword has become legendary. His reputation has spread across provinces. His enemies fear him. Yet the old master asks the exact same question. If a man insults you today, who controls your life? This time the samurai smiles. No one. Not because insults disappeared. Not because hardship ended. Not because life became easier. Because he had finally conquered the only battlefield that truly mattered. The battlefield within. That is the rule modern men need more than ever. Not another shortcut. Not another motivational speech. Not another temporary burst of confidence. A permanent discipline. A way of living. A standard no circumstance can steal. Because the strongest men are rarely those with the sharpest swords or the loudest voices. They are the men who refuse to surrender their minds to chaos. The men who remain calm while others collapse. The men who choose responsibility over excuses. The men who answer adversity with discipline instead of emotion. The men who carry themselves with quiet strength long after everyone else has lost control. History remembers them as samurai. Rome remembered them as Stoics. The modern world simply calls them uncommon. The question is no longer whether emotional storms will arrive. They will. The question is who you will become when they do. Will your emotions command you, or will you command them? Because every difficult moment offers the same choice that shaped warriors, emperors, philosophers, and leaders across centuries. React like the crowd, or respond like the samurai. And perhaps years from now, when life tests your patience, your courage, your discipline, and your character, you will remember that the greatest victory was never over another man. It was over yourself. If this lesson challenged the way you think, don't let it remain another inspiring idea. Put it into practice the next time anger, fear, or frustration demands control. Then come back and share in the comments. What is the first emotion you are determined to master? And what kind of man will mastering it allow you to become?